Phil says as a CASA volunteer, you just do what you can. And that's exactly what Phil has done for Fred. As a CASA volunteer, Phil says he's able to share the love he grew up with by providing a role model to those who weren't as lucky in their own families. When Fred was 10, his mother died. He lived with his father, who suffered from alcoholism. Phil never saw the father's home, but the reports we read said it was filthy. Fred had been living on the streets. For 3 years, Phil visited Fred in a stable foster home and advocated for Fred to remain in his same school district that Fred had attended since kindergarten. But school was never easy for Fred. Phil tutored him in math, and his guidance counselor stayed on top of him to make sure he was keeping up with his schoolwork. Phil and Fred even joined the Toastmasters program together. Although Fred never got up to speak, he did gain confidence. Phil could see him growing into his own as he moved into his own apartment funded by the county. But over Christmas break one year, Phil got a call that Fred's father had passed away. Fred found out on social media. Phil went with Fred to the funeral home to help the young man make arrangements for the funeral. After a brief stint in college, Fred now lives with his friends and works in retail. Phil says Fred, like many young adults, can be a little stubborn when it comes to getting advice. And Fred says he's looking forward to leaving the Child Protective System when he turns 21 later this year. Phil plans to keep in touch. It's part of Phil doing what he can to help a young man to have someone truly to count on.
Since becoming a CASA, I am much more aware of the difficult and dangerous positions that many children are exposed. Society must do a better job ensuring that all children have safe environments, food, clothing, and good school systems for them to become productive adults. Being a CASA is part of the solution. ProKids is a supportive agency for kids and its volunteers. So many kids don't have good upbringings. The total number of broken families and the dangerous situations they're in. Not just physical danger, but their housing situations and all. So having been a CASA for a teenager, I've seen where teenagers do realize that they need an adult in their life, and they may not like it, but they can become and find that they're supportive and they do have things to learn. And if we let teenagers think they have the right ideas, then they will do the right things.